Hey friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents Scents. Today I'll be going over your choices for the best beast mode designer fragrances ever.
That's right. Time to talk about some beast mode scents. It's been a while since I've done a video like this. I'll ask you guys on the community tab of my YouTube channel, what do you think is the best fragrance for this, that, or the other thing? And I asked you guys a little over a month ago, what was your favorite designer beast mode fragrance? Didn't have to be a cool weather fragrance. It could be a beast mode scent that works for you during summer or spring, or the more traditional beast mode seasons of fall and winter time. And you guys answered. So that's what we're going over here today. 10 of the top vote-getting beast mode fragrances according to you. And guys, I will have these linked in the description below. Feel free to check them out down there. And if you shop at twistedlily.com or maxroma.com, use the code GENTS10 for 10% off your order. That could be a huge savings or not really a big savings, depending on how much you buy. Trust me, when it comes to tax season, I would love to pay 10% less. Holy crap. Government, hit me up with that 10% off your taxes code. And also my fragrances, Terra Nova, Jet Black Enigma, and Blue Ridge in every single Perfumania and fragrance outlet in the country. So if you're nearby one of those, stop in, check them out. And if you buy any of those from Michael Muller's website, use the code GENTS for 20% off. Let's get started, guys. First up, a submission from Isaiah Hodge. Also want to shout out every single one of you that voted on these and left comments. I appreciate it. And there's also another one on the community tab right now. So if you go on there, you can vote, you can leave a comment, maybe be featured in the next video. Back to Isaiah. Dior Sauvage Elixir is actually ridiculous. Ha ha. I personally don't like it for the summer though. I do love how he throws that in there. And it's because when I asked, I said, you know, it could be for summer. But it doesn't have to be for summer. It can be any fragrance. I'm just saying if you have a fragrance that's particularly beast mode for you during the summer that you could mention it, is what I meant. So Dior Sauvage Elixir, I have to tell you guys straight up, this was the #1 vote-getting fragrance by far. This was commented by so many people as their submission. You would scroll down and look at all the submissions and it would be like Sauvage Elixir, Sauvage Elixir, Sauvage Elixir, something different. Sauvage Elixir, Sauvage Elixir. So this is the winner, far and away. If you want to know which fragrance got the most votes, this one. And yeah, Sauvage Elixir is for sure a beast mode fragrance for me. This stuff bangs. It lasts forever. It projects heavily. So yeah, you might look at this and be like, man, it is so expensive for a smaller size bottle, especially because it's a designer fragrance, but this stuff will last an eternity. Like you only need a couple sprays with this. And also, Isaiah, I agree. For summertime, Sauvage Elixir? Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm with you there. I think I'm going for something else. Up next, Head Trauma. Great name. Eros Eau de Toilette has always been a beast for me. Sauvage Eau de Parfum and Elixir definitely are beast mode. Stronger With You fragrances are pretty beast, but Intensely is definitely the most beast mode from that line. So for your submission, we're just gonna take it as Eros, since that's the first one that you brought up. But again, there's Sauvage Elixir. And I've gotta say, Eros Eau de Toilette, this was mentioned a bunch, but so is Eros Flame. Eros Flame came up a lot. I don't wanna put multiple fragrances from the same line in this list, so that one's not officially one of the ones, but I did want to bring that up because I saw Eros Flame a bunch. And Eros Eau de Toilette, I have to agree, is another one that for me is a monster. Stuff projects heavily, lasts forever, very sweet, very attention grabbing. But, and I bring this up a lot as well, Eros Eau de Toilette has great versatility. Some people overlook that. I wore this to the office a bunch and it did awesome for me. And that was when the stuff was brand new. When it first came out, I was wearing this to the office. Then we got one from Jared Steele who says, honestly, from my collection, the single most beastly designer I own is Ultramall. I can sometimes detect it 24 hours after spraying. I recently wore it as my scent of the day, and when I got home from work, even though it was still performing well, I sprayed my scent of the night over it. The next morning, my scent of the night was gone, but I could still smell Ultramall wafting around. And that's because while you were sleeping, Ultramall, it took out your scent of the night. Yeah. Once again, have to agree with you guys. Very strong. Like Eros, some people pigeonhole this into being a clubbing fragrance only, but it's another one that people love. Go crazy for it. Big compliment puller. So Ultramall, another one I'm on board with. Then we have one from Sundance Photography OKC who says, Invictus Platinum is criminally underrated. Performance, especially longevity, is outstanding. It's great. One of my favorites. This is one that I think people have started to come around on a little bit. It's an Invictus, so that means when it's brand new, a lot of people are gonna review bomb it and say how much they hate it. And I myself have traditionally not been the biggest fan of the Invictus line. There's some Invictuses I like a lot, don't get me wrong, but I'm not really somebody who's boosted the Invictus line a huge amount. Invictus Platinum though is pretty good. This stuff has a little aromatic touch to it. It's got some sweetness, but it's not overdone as much as a lot of the other Invictus fragrances that I don't dig quite as much. I do think that the little wing design on the front is cheesy, but who cares? Like I've said a million times, you don't wear the bottle, so, well, I mean, I guess technically you could. I'm sure some people out there do, but normal people don't wear the bottle. If you're a bottle wearer out there, more power to you, bless you. It's got a similarity to Bad Boy Cobalt from Carolina Herrera as well. So if you really dig this style, you could check that one out also. But yeah, this stuff, super versatile. It's got good performance. Being a Paco Rabanne, being an Invictus, you would expect that. And for Sundance Photography, this stuff, this is the number one. Ethan, just Ethan. Ethan from Resident Evil, cool. I'm a fan. YSL Y Le Parfum gets me unbelievably long performance, and I can wear it just about any time of year. Well worth the price in my eyes, as I only need a couple of sprays, and the projection / staying power is fantastic. A lot of people out there are not going to agree with this being worn year round. There are some people who can't jive with like Y Eau de Parfum, Y Le Parfum during summer, and I do get that. Because if you were gonna spray on a good amount of this stuff, or Y Eau de Parfum, again, when it's really hot outside, potentially humid, then yeah, it's gonna be a bit, you're gonna be choking some people out, including yourself. Now, if you wear it in moderation, like you said, 1 or 2 sprays, then I think you're golden. I think you're fine. But some people absolutely refuse to ever wear just 1 or 2 sprays. And so for them, I would agree. And so for those people who do want to spray on a little bit more of that fragrance that they're wearing, you know, really take it all in, then yeah, Y Le Parfum, Y Eau de Parfum, you probably want to stay away from that in summertime. As far as performance overall though, Y Le Parfum for sure. Very good performance. Lasts, projects, everything you want. Big compliment puller as well. I mean, it is a Y fragrance, right? It's made for maximum mass appeal, and that has it. Similar to Y Eau de Parfum, to the point that some people might consider it redundant to own both of them, but it is a little bit more mature, slightly richer, a little bit less heavy-handed with the sweetness than Y Eau de Parfum is. I think it's a great release. Y Le Parfum, love the stuff. So it's another one I agree with you guys on. Tea England up next, and this one is one that kind of surprised me. It got a lot of upvotes. It was one of the top comments, so it was interesting to see. Dylan Blue for me, hands down. Not just on me, but it's the most instantly recognizable scent that seems to linger around in the office elevators long after the wearer has left. Sauvage Elixir is obviously a no-brainer as well. So it's not that Dylan Blue has bad performance. You know, that's not why I was surprised by it. It's just, it wasn't what I would have expected as like somebody's number one beast mode fragrance. But I could see it, honestly. Dylan Blue, you know, it's that type of fragrance that people are gonna wear all the time. It's one of those daily driver type fragrances, you know, a daily wear, something you could go through the bottle quickly. And if you're wearing it, a decent amount of that fragrance, I could see it lingering, I could see it projecting well, making good impressions. And one thing when it comes to fragrances, especially when we're talking performance, is unless it's something like Sauvage Elixir, which actually, you'll probably see this with Sauvage Elixir too. But you will have people with a fragrance where it'll work amazing for them. And they'll say, man, this stuff works awesome, lasts forever. And you'll have people agree, yeah, lasts forever for me too. Lasts, 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours. And then there will always be some people who jump in and they're like, oh, last 15 minutes on me. So you can never escape that. It doesn't matter what fragrance it is. You can legitimately have people commenting, great performance, great longevity, great performance. And there will be somebody who chimes in, oh, really? Yeah, for me, it's actually the weakest thing I've ever smelled in my entire life. Keep it moving with Sujay Chor, who says it has to be CDNIM for me. Stuff lasts all day without an issue, often more than a whole day. If I had to add a summertime fragrance to it, I would go for light blue intense. CDNIM. What can you say? This is the daddy of Invictus clones as far as how many people own the stuff, talk about the stuff. And for sure, it has good performance, very good performance. That's one of the reasons it sells so well, especially for people getting into fragrances, It's great bang for your buck. Doesn't cost much, very versatile. The opening a little iffy, but once you get past that, it's gonna last and last and last and project and get attention and get compliments, and people love the stuff. So CDNIM for sure. Makes total sense. Matthew Power up next. With a name like that, gotta include him. Stronger with You, Intensely, and Leather. So kind of a 2-for-1. These both help me fight the freezing winter we're having. Also, love Ultramall, Gucci Guilty Absolute, Moschino Toy Boy, and All Saints Sunset Riot for monster performance. Toy Boy. This one I also saw a bunch of times. Wasn't exactly expecting it, but there it was, time and again. Toy Boy. And yeah, Stronger with You. It's a line that's very well known for its performance, and Intensely, as was mentioned by somebody earlier in the video, is the best of the bunch as far as performance and performance only goes. Like, the stuff projects like a monster. It lasts like 12 plus hours. So both of these make total sense. Stronger with You, great choice for a beast mode scent, and just a great line in general. I love almost all of them. Jose Gabriel says the only designer fragrance I can say is beast mode on longevity is Dolce Gabbana's The One Mysterious Night. On my skin for 8 to 10 hours and projects for 3. And I'm sure for some people out there, this is an interesting one, because for a lot of people, when they hear The One, they think weak performance. They think The One Eau de Toilette, and to a lesser extent, The One Eau de Parfum. To a lesser extent, because The One Eau de Parfum has better performance than The One Eau de Toilette. But for some people, that's the mindset, right? Like, The One Eau de Toilette, the original came out, the performance was not great. And it's like that kind of set in stone. Okay, The One means weak. For some people, now I understand a ton of you out there are like, no man, I know otherwise, but for a lot of people, they have to like get over that hump. The One Mysterious Night, great performance. So The One Luminous Night, that's great performance too. I mean, a bunch of them do. But The One Mysterious Night, a solid scent, as long as you like that kind of Middle Eastern, rose oud saffron type of fragrance. Very much in that style with a little bit of the One undertone to it. Still, great fragrance. Last up, we have Martin Lilly. He says, gotta be 24 gold. I haven't actually heard this mentioned from one of you guys in a minute. Mega performance, projection, and longevity. Seeing as this is only an eau de toilette makes it more amazing. One of the best oud fragrances out there. Pity that it's discontinued now, but I managed to pick up 2 100ml bottles a few months ago for a reasonable price. So 24 gold by Scent Story. I've mentioned this a few times on the channel, but this one was a hype monster when it came out. It really was. This stuff was getting talked about everywhere. People were clamoring for this stuff. They were paying jacked up prices for it. It smells a little similar to Rogba from Lattafa Perfumes. You can still find this. It's at Fragrance Buy, as of this video, like $44 or $45, something like that. And as you said, right there on the front, eau de toilette. And yeah, this stuff, it packs a punch. It packs a punch. And this is one that I've seen people say before, oh no, it doesn't have good projection. And in my experience, I've gone through a couple bottles of this stuff actually. This is a little 50 mil. I've had 2 100 mils. Yeah, this one, I had an experience, man. I sprayed a bit too much of 24 gold on to the point that I went anosmic to it. I couldn't smell it, but there were people around me. This was in a like a game store, not a GameStop. It's like a local store, but they have board games and video games and DVDs, all kinds of stuff. You know the kind of store I'm talking about. So I was in there, And I was walking around, and one of the guys who was there, who knew a friend of mine that worked there, I was talking to the guy who worked there, my friend, and he comes up, kind of joins the conversation, and he's like, he thought that there was a lady in there whose cat had peed on her clothes. He was like, oh man, can you smell that? Like this lady over here, like she must just let her cat just like take a leak all over her clothes and let it dry and wear it. Like, what is she doing? Nah, that was me. That was me. Yeah, that was that 24 gold. I still think it smells great, but don't spray too much. That's just all I'm gonna say. You cross a threshold where it goes from smelling like an ambery sweet oud to it smelling like cat pee. You don't want to cross that threshold, right? And it is also based off of the Fox TV show 24. In what way does it resemble 24? I have no freaking idea, but that's 24 gold. So there we go, 10 fragrances that you guys said are just the best beast mode scents out there. Again, thank you everyone for commenting on that post. Thank you everybody for voting. You guys are the real MVPs here. Thank you for hanging with me. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys later.